Peace and riches blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Take Back Your Mind Life Question of the Week. You know, every week I get to dip my fingers into the proverbial bowl and pull out a question. Hopefully these questions that I get to do every week, they touch many people, even though one person is asking for themselves. Hopefully the question can affect many people because we all have similar experiences as we're growing, developing, and unfolding. So in the light of that, I have a question from Molly. Molly says, I practice living affirmatively through my thoughts, words, and actions. Way to go. That's exactly how we are to live. However, how do I handle strong emotions, such as grief over the loss of a loved one or sadness about a health prognosis when they arise? In the past, I've ignored strong emotions, such as fear and anger, but then they seem to show up in my physical body. How do I manage to live affirmatively, yet without ignoring the strong emotional reactions I experience so they don't show up in my body or physically later on? Well, that's a good question. Because as we're speaking about living affirmatively, as you said, your thoughts, your words, and your actions, you know, living affirmatively means that you're embracing a feeling tone and an energy, frequency, transcending thought that life is for you, that we're not at random beings, you know, we're a purpose, you know, we've been shot purposefully to reflect and reveal the infinite nature of the present. So to live affirmatively is not living positively. Living affirmatively means that life is always affirming itself. And so living affirmatively means that you're participating in that affirmation. Your inner self-talk, your affirmations you use, your prayer, affirmative prayer, your meditation, you are affirming life within you. So you're living life affirmatively. And then you have strong emotions. When you live life affirmatively, you're not denying the emotions that come up. You're not sublimating them. You're not blocking them, because as you've already indicated, that's energy. It's going to show up some other place in your life. It can show up as a symptom. It could show up as a condition for a disease. So when a strong emotion comes up, you know, we become aware that when it comes up, you know, it's generally a reaction to something. Like, first of all, let's look at emotion. Emotion and feeling tone are not the same thing. An emotion is the coagulation of previously held thoughts and opinions and points of view, interpretation of past experiences. That becomes a part of our emotional reservoir, you see. And so we don't deny that. We learn to embrace it affirmatively. When fear comes up, you don't try to get rid of fear. You basically embrace the fear. You're aware that fear is there. And then what do? You walk in the direction of your dream. You walk in the direction of your goal. You walk in the direction of your unfoldment. Baby steps. And then what happens? Fear, being an energy, becomes transmuted to excitement. Excitement, being an energy, becomes transmuted into enthusiasm. So you see that there? We don't deny fear, but fear transmutes itself as you walk in the direction of your dream, your goal, your vision, still remaining affirmative. You're not trying to sublimate it. Grief. What is grief? You know, grief is the experience of a loss where there was a particular amount of energy that was going into something, a relationship, a friendship, a parent, etc. There's a flow of energy. And then suddenly, so it's an expression of energy. And then suddenly that person is gone. And then what happens? That energy turns inward. It's grieving. I miss them. I can't touch or see them anymore, you see. What do? You embrace the grief. You become aware of what grief is telling you. And ultimately, you'll see that grief is telling you you've suffered this big loss. It'll never be replaced. But ultimately, you'll begin to see in the seed of grief, and you go deep enough, you begin to be aware that, let's take a person that's passed over, that yes, physically they're gone, but they're still alive, and they're still around. You're grieving a physical manifestation of a person that you love. Now, how do you change that energy? Let's take grieving as an example. Without denying with the emotions that you're experiencing. After a number of weeks, it depends on the person. Everybody's different. There's no one thing fits all, you know. You actually say, in substance, I'm going to create or be a living memorial for the person that I lost. In some cultures, it's 40 days. After 40 days, you actually do something in their honor. So you're taking the energy of what appears to be loss and transmuting it. I know one woman, when her mother passed, she became very involved in feeding the shelterless, because her mother was an advocate for people. Mother loved people. So this woman took that grieving energy and started working in a shelter, so that the energy of grief got transmuted into service. Someone else developed a project. I think that project was something to do with the planting trees, and she planted the first tree in honor of her dad that had passed over, but then that became a part of her passion to make sure that there's enough trees on the planet producing oxygen in a time when there's so much pollution in the air. So the grieving got transmuted. So if you pick up what I'm putting down, when you say, how do I handle these strong emotions? You don't sublimate, you don't suppress, you embrace. There's the fear. There's the grieving. There's the anger, perhaps. You see, it's all energy. Embracing means that your awareness is bigger than it, because you're an unlimited being. And as you embrace it, it begins to speed up. It begins to become, what's the word? It's transcended, but first it's transmuted by your awareness of embracing. Still living life affirmatively. I can get through this. You're still living life affirmatively. Life is for me. The universe is progressive and friendly. You're living affirmatively, but you're not denying the emotions. You see, embrace, transmutation, transcendence, freedom. That's just a small little tidbit of a very big question. Thank you for asking. Peace and blessings. Hey, thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to ask a question, please email me at podcast@michaelbeckwith.com. And you know what? Your question just might be featured. Have a beautiful and bright day.